And so we are in Baiona, which is strategically placed, or it used to be in the old days, for shipping and trading of years gone by. It's a lovely little place. It's got a castle, it's got some marinas, it's got some good food, and a lot of yachties come here every year because it's on the way to the Caribbean if you're going that way, and on the way to the rest of Europe if you're going the other way. The weather, once again, in this series we've been blessed with the shittiest, crappiest weather ever. It's just like England. I won't even talk about it. I've been here 5 days and it's just mist, rain, horrendous amounts of wind. But just look at this. Now, I'm not going to bore you with loads of history or anything, but Sir Francis Drake was here, and I have a connection with him because my hometown is Plymouth, and that's where Sir Francis Drake was from, Plymouth. In fact, I visited his house. He wasn't there, but he was here. He appeared one day, much to the annoyance of the local inhabitants, with 1,500 men, and stormed up a beach up there. He then proceeded to burn a small hermitage, they call it. It's a little chapel up there. He burnt that to the ground. He tried to take the castle over there, and some of the town failed miserably and left. And of course the Spanish weren't pleased about that at all. Now, the other major thing that happened here was this town was the first town in the Old World to learn of the existence of the New World. Out of Christopher Columbus's 2 ships, the Pinta arrived here first. The other ship with him on it, I believe, went further down the coast, but the Pinta arrived here and told everybody of the existence of the New World. And that was, of course, at the time, must have been incredible to know that there was a land over the horizon where they thought the world had ended. There was more land, and of course it was a big thing for Spain because it meant enormous wealth and the beginning of all the Spanish galleons and all the stories of gold and things, and of course the conquest of South America. And the ship itself apparently ended up as a chair, what was left of it after years of rotting. Or did it? It might be right behind me. Now, this is a replica of the Pinta, one of the ships that Christopher Columbus found America in. And it's tiny. And there's the great man himself working away with his astrolabe and these bits of wood and so on and so forth, trying to find his way. And at the back you've got the helmsman. Now he's down here steering the ship with the tiller. Bit of a back-breaking job. But the thing is, he's under, I suppose you'd call it a weather deck, under here, and he can't see the sails or anything outside. Here's a kind of replica of what they must have cooked on. Incredibly high. Here's one of the rear-facing cannons. To me, the whole thing just seems top-heavy, but needless to say, they did sail.
That way for the New World.
And there's not an awful lot of room below decks. Some of the things the crew brought back were exotic pets, sweet potatoes, nuts, cotton, and the evil tobacco, of course. And another invention from the New World, which caught on big time, especially with sailors, is the hammock. The crew could finally sleep off the ground in something quite comfortable. Before, traditionally only slept on the deck. The carpenter was one of the major guys on board. He was the one that was responsible for keeping the whole ship afloat and in good order. Apparently they brought back 3 Native Americans. One unfortunately died when they got back to town here, and supposedly buried up by the castle. The 2 other guys are still here. Of course, the big thing that attracted the Spanish was the gold. On the other hand, one of the things that we gave the New World was rats, and the first ones went across on the Pinta. The old castle behind me would have seen the original version of this ship, the Pinta, which with Christopher Columbus in 1492 discovered the New World. and they brought news of that discovery back here to Baiona. This was the first place in the old world that ever heard of the New World, and the rest, as they say, is history. Yeah, you can see by this map how Christopher Colon's real name was. I went terribly wrong. He was in this ship here that sailed from there, and it went all really down there somewhere on the Pinto, which we've just been on, straight up. And I don't know who this guy is, but he seems to be saying, "Yo, bitches! Yo!" This is the first time I've had a chance to explore this castle. It's kind of really cool, but I don't have a lot of time left. I've got to fuel the boat because the marina staff are going off shortly, and we're going to make a move tomorrow. We've got one day of good weather, so I'm going to try and shoot up 15 or 20 miles up the coast to another marina where we're going to try and get the boat lifted, because I reckon there's so much dirt underneath the boat, so much growth, that it's slowing me down enough to make a big difference. So that's the plan. I'm hanging in mid-air at the moment. Oh God, please don't drop my boat. Or please, Spanish yard worker, don't drop my boat.